Hello everyone, it's Forever DM here again. This time I'm coming at you with another subclass that I've created. This one is for the Ranger. I really like how this subclass came out because it really feels like it fills the gaps that is missing from the basic Ranger. I know Tasha's Cauldron of Everything just came out and there's a lot of new material for the Ranger. I have pre-ordered it. I haven't gotten my copy yet. I probably will review some of the stuff that's in that book because it feels like there's going to be a lot of customization options, especially for the Ranger. It really feels like they didn't give it as much love as previous editions. I feel like the community itself really agrees with that, which is why every time I made a Ranger subclass, I gave the subclass a little bit more than what I would normally give another subclass, because I feel like the class itself is underperforming against the other classes, so it needs a little bit of a bump. But not too much that you just want a subclass, multi-class into Ranger just to get those good things. So they kind of get a little bit of it piecemeal throughout the whole thing. So the longer you stay in the subclass, the more of the things you get. And the same thing is true for this one here. So without further ado, I introduce to you the Realm Warden. A Realm Warden is kind of like someone who's really mastered their terrain more than just a regular ranger would. At third level, when you would normally pick this archetype, you also learn, you gain an ability called Natural Affinity. When you choose this archetype at third level, you can learn one cantrip of your choice from the Druid spell list. I feel like giving them a cantrip kind of gives them like that extra utility of doing something, but not be limited by spell slots. Also at third level, they get improved favored enemy, and you'll see a really cool synergy with this plus the next ability. At third level, you deal extra damage to your favored enemies. Whenever you damage a favored enemy with a weapon attack or a spell attack, you can choose to increase the damage of a single roll against that target by an amount equal to your proficiency bonus. So now you actually have a combat applicable ability with your favorite enemy, and it's not just the language and what have you for what it originally gives you from the base class. This actually makes it so that it deals damage. You start doing a little bit, but the more you get into this class, the more damage you'll deal because it's tied to your proficiency bonus. Now, onto the 7th level feature, you get what I called climatization. While you spend at least 1 hour in your favored terrain, you may change one of your favored enemies to a different type. Now, there's a limitation to this, and I'll explain that now. This new favored enemy must be one you have fought, observed for more than 1 hour, or have tracked for more than 1 hour. And you also do not gain a new language when you change this favorite enemy to the new feature. And the final limitation is you may not use this feature again for 7 days. So let me explain what I mean by this. I feel that if a ranger was specifically tracking, maybe for a quest or part of the campaign, and was following, say, a wild boar for days or for a couple of hours or whatever, he's gained the knowledge and the know-how of the patterns of that creature to be able to deal that extra damage equal to your proficiency bonus to that new favored enemy. And that's my reasoning behind that, which, like I said, ties back into that improved favorite enemy. Since you can actually apply a damage bonus to it, you can know, okay, look, we've been tracking, this group of bandits for a while. They've been ransacking caravans and stuff, but my favorite enemy of oozes isn't going to really help me against this quest. Well, you can track those bandits for more than an hour and be able to make them your favorite enemy, making that combat that's inevitably coming against them better, or it makes you better in that combat. That way you don't feel like something's lacking. Again, I did make it so that you can't just keep spamming this over and over again. You have to get into a combat with them, or you have to observe them in an hour, or what have you. And you can't just do it on the fly and say, oh, well, we're fighting bandits, now I'll fight them. No, you've got to be in your favorite terrain, because you have the know-how, because it's your favorite terrain, right? So if it's forest and you've been tracking something into the forest, yeah, I'll give you the ability to swap it over. You're in your element. That's what matters here. Finally, the last part of climatization is, in addition, if you have spent at least 1 hour in one of your favorite terrains, your proficiency bonus is increased by +1. And this bonus lasts for as long as you remain in your favorite terrain. Again, it's that whole idea of you're in your element, right? If your favorite terrain is a forest, aren't you supposed to be just better at everything while you're in the forest? Yes, you are, with climatization. Second to last ability that they get at 11th level is called Ley Lines. At 11th level, when your spellcasting feature lets you learn a ranger spell of 1st level or higher, you can choose the new spell from the ranger list or the druid spell list. You must otherwise obey all the restrictions for selecting the spell, and it becomes a ranger spell for you. So now I've given them this kind of extra magical ability, so they're more druidic in the way that they are a ranger. That's pretty self-explanatory. I got nothing to add to that. Next is, also, in addition, you choose an affinity for the source of your natural power. So you now choose Arctic, coast, desert, forest, grassland, mountain, swamp, or the Underdark, just like you would get for the ranger favorite terrains. But now you pick one of them to be like a little better. Like, yeah, I'm good in the Arctic and I'm good in the forest, but the mountains, man, that's where I really shine. So you choose one of those and you learn one extra additional spell based on that affinity that you chose. It becomes a ranger spell for you if it isn't already, and it doesn't count against your ranger spells known. If you later replace this spell, you must replace it with a spell from the druid spell list. Okay? So you get one extra spell to do something with, right? And I specifically made it here so that all the different, I forgot to pull this up before, my apologies, but I'm looking at the spells now. I made them all the exact same spell level. So let's just look at the first one here. So they're all 4th level spells. So for Arctic, if you choose Arctic as your affinity, like I said, affinity is basically like the one terrain you're the greatest in. It doesn't have to be one of your favorite terrains, but it's implied that you should use it as such. So for the Arctic terrain, you learn the Ice Storm spell. For coast, control water, desert, wall of fire, forest, giant insect, grassland, polymorph, mountain, stone shape, swamp, blight, and then finally for the Underdark, you would get Charm Monster. It's just an extra free spell that you get to add from your list just to give you a little bit more of that versatility spell-wise, because you already have that versatility through your foes and stuff. Now, if you're not fighting your favorite foe and that ability's on its cooldown and you can't use it for a couple extra days because of that 7-day limitation, you at least still have a really good go-to spell based on where your terrain is, so you still have the ability to be good in a combat, because that's where a ranger is supposed to be good at, in combat and casting spells and doing great things. And then finally, the capstone ability for the subclass is called Conduit of Nature. At 15th level, you gain additional spell slots. At the end of a long rest, you can create a number of spell slots equal to your wisdom modifier. For example, if your wisdom modifier is a +3, because it's at 16 or 17, you can create 1 3rd level spell slot, or 1 2nd and 1 1st, or 3 1st level spell slots, because they combine to make a total of 3, because your wisdom modifier is 3. If it's a 5, then you get to create 5 spell slots, whether it's a 1 and a 4 or a 2 and a 3, so on, so on. But there's a limitation. I know free extra spell slots is pretty powerful. That's why I limited it to you can only use the spell slots on ranger spells or those granted to you by your Climatization feature. That special spell that you get, that 4th level, for choosing your affinity. Now, the reason I did that is because of multi-classing purposes. If someone wants to spam a spell from a different spell list that they also multi-class into this, you can't work. You can only use it for your own ranger stuff that you've been getting from 1st to 15th level this way. As well as such, if you're going to be a ranger for 15 levels, you're probably going to take this all the way to 20. But that's up to you to decide. So that's my ranger. So a lot shorter video today. I've been getting some feedback from actual friends of mine that watch this, that my videos are a bit too long, so I'm trying to keep it down here. But that's it. I really love feedback. Please comment on the video below. I'd love to know what you guys think of this. Also, I'll post a link in the description below so you can go straight to where I've posted this on D&D Beyond, who is not a sponsor. I want to get that out of the way. It's just a really great community on D&D Beyond. I feel I've seen so many good subclasses that have been posted there, and it really helps to give feedback or playtest or something, even if it's just a quick little, hey, I really like your subclass. It's a great theme. Keep up the good work. Any feedback at all, whether constructive criticism or positive, it doesn't matter. Comment below, please, and let me know what you think. I really enjoy getting feedback from somebody. Or if you have any ideas that you were like, hey, I really like the idea of kind of like, I've got this idea of this is how, I want to build like a fighter or something like, and I just don't know how to put it together. Let me know. That's actually the very first subclass I ever made was someone wanting to know how to, take runes and use them to fight in combat and stuff, and that's where I came up with the idea for the Rune Lord. So, and my second one, the Path of the Shieldbearer Barbarian, which was actually my very first video I posted on YouTube, was also somebody else's idea. Like, they really liked the idea of someone who used a shield and just bashed with it and stuff and used the shield as a weapon. And I took that and ran with it. So please comment below of anything that you have in your head. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. If you did watch, thanks for liking if you liked. I appreciate anything that you guys do. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. This has been Forever DM, and I hope your homebrew campaigns are just as fun as they could possibly be. Take care.